This is Gary Butterfield.
This is Cole Ross.
And this is Monster My Podcast, Plant Week.
Plant Week, Day 2.
There's a monster in my podcast.
Starting with a tri-flower frond.
Ooh. Nothing too much is happening here. Different color flowers do different things.
Yeah, well, it puts you in a coma, dissolves you, and then drinks your blood.
Right.
Is the thing it does, which is like, sounds like it'd be extremely cool, but actually a lot of things do that.
Yeah.
The old triple play, you know?
The 1-2-3 punch, you know?
Yeah. The hat trick of plant time.
Yeah, the vine of dope. Yeah.
Yeah. Vine of dope!
More interesting are the yellow musk creepers and their zombies.
Very similar to the slime or ooze that we had.
Yes, and also very similar to those fungi that would make you into a fungus zombie or whatever those were.
Yeah.
I forget what they were called.
I don't either. I don't retain knowledge from this podcast either.
No, I don't retain anything.
Weird. Yeah, I don't. It's like we've been yellow musk creepered.
Yeah. So this is a plant that will infect you with a spore that drains your intelligence and turns you into a yellow musk zombie. Okay?
It's not a spore. A bulb comes up and sucks it out.
Ah, okay.
So it's not like just like it comes in the air. It's literally a vine that digs into your skull and sucks out your intelligence bodily.
Yes.
Like it is not just like an ambient, like, oh, I'm getting dumber. It's like, no, it's eating the parts of your brain. Like it's in there, man.
It's in there, and I don't understand how you can conversely get it back. Yeah.
I have no idea.
The thing about brains and nerves is they don't come back.
It's not like nails.
Right.
You know, maybe that's
it's
what
not
they
like
thought
fingers.
it was.
It's not like if you lose when you lose a finger and it grows back.
Oh man, cool. Like I'm just imagining like an autopsy, and then when you open up the skull, there's all these fingernails growing in.
Like a I mean, that's a thing though, right? Like a teratoma.
Yeah. To creepypasta. Let's do it. Like
it's like an actual thing to Wikipedia.
Like it's not an actual thing.
What's that?
You've seen Dead Bart. It's not like creepypasta is not an actual thing. Let's get real.
Okay. All right.
The tooth monster is based on old Toothy. Yeah. So it drains you out, turns you into a zombie. Mm-hmm. The weirdest thing about this is that it says the zombie serves you, but it doesn't say what that means at all.
Right.
I don't know what this thing wants or what's serving it. Like, you don't have to suck out my intelligence if you're like, hey, serve me. And it's like, well, what can I do for you?
I think it would be pretty boring to be a plant. Like maybe it does some dances, does a little bit of soft shoe, some light vaudeville routines that don't require a lot of verbalization.
Does a let's play. Yeah, it's real weird. I don't really know what it does. Like other than because I don't know that the tree can see you. It's like it's all just like let's plays of like through vibrations of Papa Sangre, or something like entirely sound based. You know?
Yeah. I don't think it's about. I think it's more about the power dynamic than. Yeah.
It's like actual plants.
Right. When when you're done, when it's done with you, it makes you walk as far as you can, about 200 feet. You die. Okay, it falls over, becomes inert. And so as a result of this process, you have a seedling that has been growing in your head, and then it grows out of your corpse and establishes a new yellow musk creeper.
Yeah, head fruit from Starflight.
Yeah. Also, Also, you don't end up changing appearance that much. You don't become like a weird little plant man. No, your skin just kind of turns yellow and you smell kind of musky.
Yeah, you get a little planty.
Which I mean, given my jaundice and bathing habits, I mean, high five, same buddy.
You turn into a patchouli nightmare. So we move on to intelligent plants, which are essentially the same thing except they're operative.
Right.
The hangman tree is not that interesting. It's just a tree full of nooses that come down and hang you.
Yes.
Which, fine. Feels like a trap.
Yeah.
They
pull you up desperately slowly as well. It's not like you would think, hey, hangman tree, they're going to try and snap your neck or whatever. And it takes like 1d20 rounds to pull you up or something.
Botched hanging tree. Yeah, it's no good.
Yeah. Paired up with the tree that forgot to wet the sponge.
Yeah. More interesting is the Kelpie.
I love the Kelpie.
Yeah, Kelpie's pretty good.
It lives to drown the foolish.
Yeah, same.
Debate me.
Yeah. Like, do you have the sack to drown the foolish? Look at this rare flag of Thomas Jefferson drowning the foolish. So it turns in, it's just a bunch of kelp that forms itself into the mold of whatever you might want at that specific time,
calling out specifically like either a horse, a dog, or a woman.
Yeah. Well, it's a seahorse. A hippocampus is like a seahorse mount. So it's like, my kingdom for a horse, and the kelpie's like, and then it's just like, God, I gotta fuck. And it's just like, okay, well, I'm a green clad woman that looks terrifying. Like in daylight, this looks just like a shambling mockery. Like so gross.
Yep.
But then they can charm you to be like, I want to have sex with that pile of kelp.
And it's to the point where I don't care that it's, strangling my dick off. To the point where if they do this to a water-dwelling creature, they will get confused because the thing doesn't die and the charm is still taking place. So he's trying to get down on Kelp Lady.
Yeah, and it's trying to drown you, and and it's like you just won't drown. You can just fucking muff dive for eternity because you live underwater.
Yeah,
and the Kelpie's like, what? Pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's scary. And then finally, the
Obliviacs,
aka the memory moss, which destroys your memories through spores.
Yes, it absorbs them. It's trying to like amass knowledge down to the point where it will like claim spells.
I love this. Like I like the idea of there being a druid who uses these things as a library. Like you have a tree, like a forest, and all these trees have moss growing on one side, and like this is like gardening, and this is philosophy, and this is criticism of poetry. And things like that, depending on which memory moss you have on the tree.
Yeah, or does like an entire like druidic society using this as like the mausoleum of culture. So like if somebody is about to die, you take them and have it be claimed by part of this, and if you want to re-experience it, well, you just cut yourself off a slice.
Yeah, you just spread some of this on jam with some Vegemite and have a breakfast party with your old pal, Dead Druid.
Yeah. Brought to you by our backers at patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv.